Investing in stocks can be a great way to grow your wealth and achieve financial freedom. However, it can be daunting for beginners to know where to start. In this video, I'll show you how to invest in stocks and also share some investment tips and tricks that can help you make money in the stock market. By following these tips, you can increase your chances of success and achieve your financial goals. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to improve your investment skills, this guide is for you. Let's get started. 1. Determine your investing approach. The first step to investing in stocks is to decide how you want to do it. There are two main approaches. Active investing. This involves buying individual stocks and actively managing your portfolio. This is a good option for investors who are comfortable with risk and who have the time to do research and make investment decisions. Passive investing. This involves investing in index funds or ETFs, which track a specific market index. This is a good option for investors who want to reduce their risk and who don't have the time to actively manage their portfolio. Before I continue, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss my weekly videos on wealth creation tips. To decide which approach is right for you, consider the following questions. How much time do you have to invest? Active investing requires more time and research than passive investing. How comfortable are you with risk? Active investing is riskier than passive investing. What are your investment goals? If you're saving for retirement, you may want to take a more passive approach. If you're looking to make quick profits, you may want to take a more active approach. No matter which approach you choose, it's important to do your research and understand the risks involved. You should also consider working with a financial advisor to help you create a personalized investment plan. Remember to stay till the end of the video where I will share with you on Warren Buffett's investment philosophy as well as additional tips and tricks for beginners. 2. Different ways of investing in the stock market. There are three main types of stocks that you can invest in: individual stocks, index funds, and robo-advisors. Individual stocks. This is when you buy shares in a specific company. This is the most active form of stock investing, and it requires a lot of research and analysis. You need to understand the company's financials, its business model, and its competitive landscape. If you do your research and make smart decisions, you can potentially beat the market and earn higher returns. However, there is also a higher risk of losing money when you invest in individual stocks. Index funds. This is when you buy shares in a basket of stocks that track a specific market index. For example, the S&P 500 index fund tracks the performance of the 500 largest companies in the United States. Index funds are a more passive form of stock investing, and they are generally less risky than individual stocks. They also typically have significantly lower costs. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned an average of 10% per year, and performance like this can build substantial wealth over time with the power of compounding. Robo-advisors. This is a type of investment advisor that uses algorithms to manage your portfolio. A robo-advisor uses algorithms and invests your money on your behalf in a portfolio of index funds that is appropriate for your age, risk tolerance, and investing goals. The robo-advisor will also optimize your tax efficiency and make changes over time automatically. 3. Decide how much you will invest in stocks. First, let's talk about the money you shouldn't invest in stocks. The stock market is a long-term investment. It is not a good place to put money that you might need in the next 5 years, at a minimum. This is because the stock market can be volatile in the short term. In fact, it is not uncommon for the stock market to decline by 20% or more in a single year. This could leave you with less money than you need if you have to sell your stocks during a downturn. Here are some examples of money that you should not invest in stocks. Your emergency fund. Your emergency fund is money that you set aside to cover unexpected expenses, such as a car repair or a medical bill. You should keep your emergency fund in a safe place, such as a high-yield savings account, where it can earn interest and be available to you when you need it. Money for a down payment on a house. If you are saving for a down payment on a house, you should consider investing in a high-yield savings account or a money market fund. These investments are safe and will earn you some interest while you are saving. It is important to remember that the stock market is a long-term investment. If you are investing for the long term, you should be prepared for the stock market to go up and down in the short term. However, over the long term, the stock market has historically outperformed other investments, such as savings accounts and bonds. Now let's talk about what to do with your investable monies, that is, the money you won't likely need within the next 5 years. This is a concept known as asset allocation. Asset allocation is the process of dividing your investable money into different asset classes, such as stocks, bonds, and cash. The goal of asset allocation is to create a portfolio that is appropriate for your age, risk tolerance, and investment goals. Your age is a major factor in asset allocation. In general, as you get older, you should have less of your money in stocks and more of it in bonds. This is because stocks are more volatile than bonds, and you don't want to risk losing money when you are retired and need your investments to provide income. Here is a quick rule of thumb that can help you establish a ballpark asset allocation. Subtract your age from 110. This is the approximate percentage of your investable money that should be in stocks. The remainder should be in bonds or other fixed income investments. For example, let's say that you are 40 years old. This rule suggests that 70% of your investable money should be in stocks, with the other 30% in fixed income. If you are more of a risk taker or are planning to work past a typical retirement age, you may want to shift this ratio in favor of stocks. On the other hand, if you don't like big fluctuations in your portfolio, you might want to modify it in the other direction. It is important to remember that asset allocation is just a starting point. You may need to adjust your asset allocation over time as your circumstances change. For example, if you lose your job or have a major medical expense, you may need to reduce your exposure to stocks. If you are not sure how to create an asset allocation that is right for you, you should talk to a financial advisor. A financial advisor can help you assess your risk tolerance and investment goals and create a portfolio that is appropriate for you. 4. Open an investment account. If you want to start investing in stocks, you will need to open a brokerage account. A brokerage account is a type of investment account that allows you to buy and sell stocks, bonds, and other investments. There are many different brokerage companies to choose from, such as Charles Schwab, E-Trade, Fidelity, Vanguard, and more. It is important to compare them before you open an account. When choosing a brokerage account, you will need to consider two main factors: the type of account you need, and the fees and features offered by different brokerage companies. There are two main types of brokerage accounts: standard brokerage accounts and individual retirement accounts (IRAs). Both account types will allow you to buy stocks, mutual funds, and ETFs. Standard brokerage accounts are a good option if you want easy access to your money, are just investing for a rainy day, or want to invest more than the annual IRA contribution limit. However, if you want to save for retirement, IRA is the way to go. There are two main varieties of IRA: traditional and Roth IRA. With a traditional IRA, you contribute pre- or after-tax dollars, your money grows tax-deferred, and withdrawals are taxed as current income after age 59 and a half. With a Roth IRA, you contribute after-tax dollars, your money grows tax-free, and you can generally make tax and penalty-free withdrawals after age 59 and a half. You should also compare costs and features before you open a brokerage account. Most online stockbrokers have eliminated trading commissions, so most of them are on a level playing field in terms of costs. However, there are still some important differences between brokerage companies. Some brokers offer a variety of educational tools, access to investment research, and other features that are very useful for newer investors. Others offer the ability to trade on foreign stock exchanges, while some have physical branch networks that can be helpful for investors who want face-to-face investment guidance. The user-friendliness and functionality of the broker's trading platform is also an important consideration. Some platforms are more user-friendly than others, and some offer more features. It is a good idea to try out a demo version of the platform before committing any money. 5. Choose your stocks. Now that you know how to buy stocks, you may be looking for some investment ideas. Here are some important concepts that beginners should master before they start investing. Diversification. Diversification is the practice of investing in a variety of different companies and industries. This helps to reduce your risk if one company or industry performs poorly. Investment in stocks you understand. When investing in stocks, it is important to understand the company's business and its financials. This will help you make informed investment decisions. Avoid high volatility stocks. High volatility stocks are more likely to experience sharp price swings. This can be risky for beginners. Always avoid penny stocks. Penny stocks are high-risk securities with small market capitalizations that trade for a low price outside major market exchanges. A lack of history and information, as well as low liquidity, make penny stocks riskier. Learn the basics of stock evaluation. There are several factors to consider when evaluating stocks, such as earnings, price-to-earnings ratio, and debt-to-equity ratio. It is important to understand these factors before you start investing. 6. Continue investing. Warren Buffett is one of the most successful investors of all time. He has made billions of dollars by investing in stocks. Buffett's investment philosophy is simple. Buy shares of great businesses at reasonable prices and hold on to the shares for the long term. Buffett believes that it is not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results in the stock market. Instead, he focuses on finding great businesses that are undervalued by the market. He then buys these shares and holds onto them for the long term, even if the stock price fluctuates in the short term. If you want to be a successful investor, you should follow Buffett's advice. Buy shares of great businesses at reasonable prices and hold onto the shares for the long term. This is the most surefire way to make money in the stock market. Here are some additional investment tips and tricks for beginners. Start small. Don't invest more money than you can afford to lose. Do your research. Before you invest in any stock, make sure you do your research and understand the company. Be patient. Investing is a long-term game. Don't expect to get rich quick. Rebalance your portfolio regularly. As your financial situation changes, you may need to rebalance your portfolio. This means selling some stocks and buying others to keep your portfolio in line with your risk tolerance and investment goals. Get professional help. If you are not comfortable investing on your own, you may want to consider getting professional help from a financial advisor. Now that we have explored how to invest in stocks and make money, I hope this video helps you in being one step closer to your financial goals. Please give a thumbs up on the video if you have enjoyed watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to my channel for more wealth creation tips. I'd see you in the next video. Bye.